Okay, so today's worksheet, we're going to be talking about transformations, and really quickly I want to express the difference between the words less steep, and steeper. So I have two different staircases. One of them, D, is steeper than the other. And reverse, letter F, staircase, is less steep than letter D. So those are the differences, and if you need to watch the video over again later today, you can, so that you understand the difference between steeper and less steep, because you will be using those words for question 4 and 5 on your paper. Okay, question 4 and 5. These other words we're going to be using for the rest of the paper in order to write our answers. So you can use the words shifted up, shifted down, steeper, less steep, reflected. How many units did it move? The x-axis, y-axis, did a coefficient change, the original line, and negative. Okay? So for this worksheet, they already gave you the original line. So this one right here in blue is the original line, y equals x. Okay, so on Desmos, you would type y equals x, and then you would type the second line, which is letter A, y equals x plus 4. So this is how we're going to do it on the calculator. First, you type y equals x. Okay, and in this case, my line is black. Your line might be different, just depending on what you have. And you can always change the color right here. Okay? And then to add another one, you just click down at the bottom and you type the new equation, which is y equals x plus 4. And then it drew the new line, which in my case, it's red. So I do want a table for that line because I need the points. I need those points on my paper. Okay? So the first point is 0, 4. I have 1, 5. I also have negative 1, 3, and I have negative 2, 2. So what would you do? You would just draw them on your paper right here. If you can do it in a different color, that's perfect. The first point is at 0, 4. Another point is at 1, 5. There's one at negative 1, 3, and there's one at negative 2, 2. Connect the dots. And label it. This is graph A. You're going to do the same thing for graph B. And then you're going to answer the question right here. Letter A says, what change to the original graph produced graph A? Meaning, from this graph right here, the blue one, what happened to get to the new graph, which is graph A? Did it shift up? Did it shift down? Did it get steeper? Did it get less steep? What do you guys think? It shifted up, right? So from here to here, it shifted up how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would write the graph shifted up 4 units. Okay? Some of these will not be a shift, like problem 4 and 5. Those are steepness. So you're either going to say that it got steeper or that it got less steep. And you're going to finish all of these by yourself. Tomorrow, we will give you the answers and talk about some of these and why you think you got them wrong. Or maybe you have an explanation better than mine. When you get to letter C, it says, if you had started with graph A, how would you then get to graph B? So let's say this is graph A, and let's say my graph B is somewhere down here. How did you get from graph A to graph B? Okay, you would either write shifted up or shifted down, and how many units. Got it? I'm not going to draw B, but make sure that you draw it and that you label it graph B. because that's not really graph B. I just drew something, okay? But make sure that you explain what happened from graph A to graph B. No more, we're not talking about the original anymore in the last question.